My Judaism was mostly centered around food. It was centered around traditions. It was centered around holidays. I was sent to Hebrew school every day after school, but they only spoke Hebrew, and most of the time I had no idea what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned being centered around food. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I guess in all faiths, but especially in Judaism, food is very central to the tradition. And every Friday night, we had the same thing. My mother would light the candles, and then we would have matzo ball soup, sometimes chopped liver, roasted chicken, and of course, we kept our meat and our dairy separate because we lived in a kosher house. So that really dictated what you could eat at any specific meal. Ken and I met after I had Josh and Liesl. We were teaching after I was divorced. He impressed me as very bright, very full of life, and it never occurred to me that he might not be Jewish because everybody I knew was Jewish. And we fell in love. We decided to get married. Josh and Liesl were maybe 3 and 5. And he never once spoke about his religion until we were ready to get married. And he said, if we have any children, Linda, I would like them raised as Catholic. We couldn't take a honeymoon because we were both school teachers. So that summer we went to Montpelier, Vermont with Josh and Liesl. And we were walking across a bridge. And I remember he was on my left, and I turned to him and I said, I just don't understand about this Jesus that is part of Catholicism, and what it all means. And he turned to me and he said, Linda, if Jesus has not risen, our faith is in vain. As Ken became ill and debilitated, it was almost an opportunity for my faith to deepen. And a miracle happened. I believe it's a miracle. At the very end of November, his whole demeanor changed. He woke up, he was happy. Most days he couldn't get out of bed or got out of bed with help. He was really struggling physically. He was falling. It was very hard to see, but he was at peace. And he was filled with gratitude and love for myself and the children. And it was almost as if the Lord put down his hand on his shoulder and said, Ken, it's okay. I'm going to be with you now, and you're going to be fine, and you're going to feel good. And that's how he closed his eyes with a smile on his face, which you know.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for sharing the blessing of your journey with us today, and thank you for blessing St. Mary's with your ministries and your gifts, and God bless you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.